Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural Parker College of Business Gala. What an exciting night. My name is Clay Turner. I represent the Young Alumni Board for the Parker College, and I'm extremely honored to be up here looking out at this room of very pretty people. A lot of you hose up very nice. We're here at the DeSoto Hotel, and what the DeSoto means to Georgia Southern is this is actually the venue where Statesboro was awarded the opportunity to be the host city for our grand university. So it holds a really unique place in the history of Georgia Southern. And recognizing the fact that I am really the only thing that stands between a bunch of people who have enjoyed a bunch of cocktails and dinner, we'll be brief, so listen fast. Tonight is significant for a lot of reasons, because I think what it does is it kicks off a tradition that impacts a lot of generations to follow us at Georgia Southern. And if you've ever heard Dean Ameson cast his vision for the Parker College, it centers around a lot of things. Number one, it's a destination that we want for students to choose first, to attract the best students, to attract the brightest faculty. And it's really simple to see that his vision also includes becoming a university that's recognized across our state and across our country for its innovation and its impact. We also want it to be a center for intellectual opportunity, for results, and ultimately producing a great ROI for anybody that walks through our doors. A large part of that vision also includes an evening like tonight. And just like we're experiencing, where prominent alumni from Georgia Southern, as well as business leaders from the state, come together, celebrate the impact that Georgia Southern has had on each one of our lives, and will continue to. And the Parker College alumni the Parker Young Alumni Board shared that vision, and we joined together to help make tonight possible. And there's a lot of reasons to not do something like tonight. It's hard. There's a lot of logistics, a lot of moving parts. But the legendary management professor and author Warren Bennis said, "The manager accepts the status quo and the leader challenges it." So Dean Ameson, thank you for your leadership and your vision for making time possible. So the journey to tonight hasn't really come without its challenges. The fall of 2019 is when the decision to hold this was made, and 6 months later, the world shuts down. Instead of working on our baking skills at home, however, I did perfect a pound cake, ask my wife, it's great. We spent time on Zoom calls. The pandemic slowed our progress, obviously, it pushed it a year, but it's really great to see how we persevered through all of those challenges to end up here. And so for that, I want to recognize my fellow Young Alumni Board members for the time that they spent in making tonight great and bringing it all together. And one specifically, Bryant Hosh, deserves a lot of credit. Chris Osborne said that Bryant was a huge ass in making tonight great. And so, Bryant, thank you for your efforts, for your persistence, and all of your ideas that again, made tonight just so spectacular. And then in the fall, also, Dean Ameson shared, both with the Young Alumni Board as well as with the Dean's Advisory Council, that tonight was 100% the right thing to do no matter what it cost. And he said, even if we have to write the whole thing off. I majored in marketing. I took accounting in the summer to reduce the time that I had to endure it. But I don't think a write-off in this instance is a good thing. But here we are tonight, guys. Look at this room. We've raised over $100,000 from 23 sponsors. We have 280 people in attendance, and we have a waiting list. I think we did well. I also want to take a moment to recognize a couple of distinguished guests with us. Here tonight we have our provost, Dr. Carl Reiber, and his wife, Janet. As well as our Georgia Southern president, Dr. Kyle Marrero, and our first lady, Dr. Jane Marrero. special thank you to the four of y'all for your shared vision in Parker College and making tonight a priority. Thanks for being here. I also want to recognize our top sponsors, mostly because without your financial support, tonight doesn't happen. And we want to say a huge thank you specifically to our reception presented by LMI. So if you enjoyed a cocktail prior to, make sure that you thank Doug. And our silent auction was built by the Home Depot. And so all of you that participated in the silent auction, that's pretty cool stuff out there, huh? Incredible items, a week at the beach, a week at the mountains, a golf trip for two, one of the 100 courses in the world, dinner at the 50-yard line at Paulson Stadium with our president. And so thank you definitely Home Depot for making that a really great experience for all of us. And also a special thank you to our direct sponsors, Queensboro Bank, Jones, oh, yes. Jones, Davis & Associates. Nichols Cawley. Oh, their table's here. And Malden and Jenkins. And as well as all of our table sponsors, so thank you very, very much for your support of tonight. It's greatly appreciated. And I especially want to thank our presenting sponsor, Synovus. So Synovus is not only the largest sponsor of the gala, they're also the first. And so their commitment to tonight really gave us a lot of credibility to pursue additional sponsorships. And at this time, I want to invite Don Howard up to the stage to join me. While Don comes up, I want to say a couple of words about him. I learned that Don, you like retiring so much that they let you do it twice. And so Don began his banking career before I was born, but he Don's a graduate of Georgia Banking School and the School of Banking of the South. He was president, CEO, and COO of several banks in the Roswell and the North Georgia areas. In 2003, he was named the Synovus Regional CEO for Atlanta and North Georgia. In 2010, he was named chair and CEO of Bank of North Georgia, and he currently serves as the Bank of North Georgia and Synovus Regional CEO for the Bank of North Georgia and Synovus Banks of Florida. In 2010, Governor Perdue asked him to serve as the Georgia Student Finance Commissioner, and recently he has served with the North Fulton Community Impact District, North Fulton Hospital, the Roswell Rotary Club, the North Metro YMCA, the North Metro Miracle League, and among his civic awards are Outstanding Rotarian of the Year, the James H. Blanchard Leadership Award, the Parker College of Business Alumnus of the Year, and the Greater North Fulton Chamber Zach Henderson Citizen of the Year. So ladies and gentlemen, I invite Don Howard to the stage.
It's hard to remember that all those things happened to me, so it just shows if you've been around long enough, some of those things will occur. So thank y'all so much. I want to also welcome you and to the first inaugural first gala, awards gala, and thank you for being here. I am connected to both the Parker College of Business because I'm on the board and advisory board for Allen and a graduate of Georgia Southern. And I also am a former team member of Synovus, as was just described. But before I get to some remarks, I want to reminisce for just a moment. It seems like Georgia Southern's been part of my life forever. I was born and raised in Bullock County, went to Brooklet Elementary, Southeast Bullock High School, and I think just about every teacher I had was a graduate of Georgia Southern College. And then we always benefited from having student teachers come in every quarter to support us as we were going through our secondary education. I also remember In 1965, because that's when I graduated from high school, Georgia Southern had the Rolling Stones come to Statesboro to perform. And if you haven't read about the history of that, it'll make you really proud. It's the first college and university the Rolling Stones ever performed at in America. There were over 3,500 people in Hanner Gymnasium that night. We paid them $3,000, not me, but Georgia Southern paid them $3,000, the group that put that together, to come and perform. And the tickets were $2.50 in advance and $3 at the door. So to say things have changed a little bit, they certainly have. But, most of us can remember who our favorite teachers were. But I can also remember who my favorite professors were. I had people like Dr. Larry Price, Dr. Lon Carnes, Martha Holmes. And if somebody can help me remember, there was a retired colonel that taught business law that had a huge impact on me when I was at Georgia Southern. What I appreciate about all these professors that I had was not just their classroom demeanor, but the relationships we built outside of the classroom, the coaching, the mentoring that they provided. And I think that was a differentiator for Georgia Southern then and now, that the faculty cares about those students in a different way than just a formal education in the classroom. I also want to thank Synovus for being the presenting sponsor. That came about when Alan and Robert talked about this gala, and I immediately contacted Darren Burnett, who's a regional CEO for Synovus, graduate of Georgia Southern, maybe the biggest advocate of Georgia Southern I've ever met. And then we have another whole table of Synovus folks from Savannah, Brunswick, Statesboro. Most of them are Georgia Southern grads, so there's a real relationship between Georgia Southern and Synovus, and it's demonstrated by all your attendance, and I appreciate you being here. But Synovus has had a long history of being very committed to the communities we serve, to higher education, to economic development in our state. And they also have a great interest in the leaderships that we bring to the table and for the entrepreneurship and overall talent that Georgia Southern and other higher education institutions turn out. But I also want to thank all of you tonight because, as was said, because of your support, this event was sold out. The proceeds from tonight's events will go to support scholarships for our Parker College. And also, I think it will build awareness for the Parker College of Business, and we will attract quality students and hopefully increased financial support, which I know we could all use. So thank you for that support. And then finally, because of you and Synovus, you endorse the value that Georgia Southern brings, not only to Georgia, but to Southeast Georgia, particularly in South Georgia. It is just a real, pleasure. It's a real satisfaction to see what Georgia Southern does. I can't be more proud to be both a Georgia Southern grad and a team member of Synovus. So thank y'all for letting us present this event tonight, and I hope we'll be participants in our future annual events. Thank you.
Thank you, Don, and definitely thank you, Synovus team. I want to make a few announcements before we serve dinner. The silent auction does close at the end of the dinner, so watch your bids. At the end of the evening, you can go back to the Madison Ballroom where the reception was held, check out and pick up your items. So ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy dinner, and our program will begin shortly.
Good evening, everyone. Come on, you can do better than that. Good evening, everyone. Hey, that video, we need to get fired up, right? On this side, I want to say Georgia. On that side, I want to say Southern. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to do it anyway. Georgia. Hey, y'all would have done well in the Army. Hey, I'm Les Smith. I'm a 1985 graduate of Georgia Southern University and the first general officer in the school's history and the highest ranking to date. You might ask, why did I come back to Georgia Southern to teach leadership? Yeah, baby. I'm gonna tell you why. But you know, there's a problem when you give a general a mic and a stage. And my wife started looking like the countdown is on. You know, Oxford Dictionary says that leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. In my viewpoint, that leadership is a responsibility to set the example for those who come after us. And why is that so important? The reason why that's so important is because I believe with all of my heart that attendance to Georgia Southern not only has caused my family to be successful, but for this institution to be successful. You can applaud to that, yeah? You know, as leaders, that responsibility is something that we should not take lightly. And the impact that you make, the decisions that you make, have lifelong repercussions. And I'll give you a couple examples. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. When I graduated in June, I didn't know what Georgia Southern was or where it was. You know, I'm from Atlanta, right? Anything south of Macon was like, what? Who? But that ROTC instructor said, you need to go join the Georgia Army National Guard. And that ROTC instructor at Georgia Southern said, I have a deal that I couldn't refuse. And that deal, ladies and gentlemen, that essence of leadership caused me to join Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. And I'm going to embarrass Cedric Henry. Raise your hand over there, Cedric. And it changed my life. Not only did joining Kappa change my life, I met the love of my life, Vanedra. Go ahead, raise your hand, Vanedra. And we've been married for 34 years this summer. I'm an accountant, baby. I know my numbers. And we felt so strongly about it that our youngest daughter also attended Georgia Southern and graduated in 2018. And you know, that's where you come in. There are young people today. There are parents today. There are organizations today that need to know what the Parker College stands for, that need to know what Georgia Southern stands for. And I need each one of you to do that. So when I send you an email, I'll call you on the phone and I want our students to come visit you, don't give me pushback. I'm 6'2" and bald-headed, baby. I'm ready to do it. But you know, I've taken this position at the Parker College because I believe in what Dr. Cal Marrero stands for. And I believe what our dean stands for. And they both need another round of applause. And tonight, this is just a culmination of that. Our job is to open opportunities for our students to see you in action, to open opportunities via those internships, to see you lead. Thank you very much. Go Eagles.
Good evening. Each year, the Parker College recognizes outstanding faculty and staff with competitive awards. Individuals are nominated and chosen by committees of their peers. we are thrilled to have the opportunity to share with you the names of this year's award winners. Will the winners please stand when their names are called?
The Martin Neese Smith Distinguished Award for Service goes to Dr. Andrea Sheets. Andrea is deeply involved in forensic accounting. She serves on editorial boards as well as a special editions editor for the Journal of Forensic Accounting Research. Additionally, she performs yeoman's work within the School of Accountancy on search committees, research committees, curriculum committees. She helps with student success. Her highly impactful service to the profession as well as the college really make her stand out. Congratulations, Andrea.
Faculty research is an important component of any high-quality business college. This year's recipient of the Gary M. Davis Excellence in Research Award has published 8 projects over the past 3 years, many in the very top quality journals. His recent research into mitigating the exhaustion of frontline healthcare workers is both impactful and cutting edge. The Excellence in Research Award goes to Dr. Kwabena Wachi.
Jinwoo Kim is the recipient of the Emma Lou Kreider Excellence in Teaching Award. Dr. Kim is known for his creativity and bringing current trends into his class, and is even an expert in Super Bowl advertising. While he couldn't be here tonight, we did want to recognize him for his excellence in the classroom.
This year's recipient of the Tomlinson and Bond Family's Staff Excellence Award wears many hats. In addition to organizing our Business Abroad program, working with our very competent Parker scholars, and pairing companies with students who want internships, she also plays an integral role in our Professional Development Day events. In short, everything she's involved with gets better because of her. The Staff Excellence Award goes to Danielle Smith.
And the last one, the William A. Freeman Professor of the Year, is given each year to a faculty member who embodies excellence in all 3 areas: research, teaching, and service. This year's Professor of the Year is Dr. Mark Hanna. Dr. Hanna joined the college in 2001, and is a valuable member of the Academy. He's earned accolades for his teaching, not only from the college, but also from the university. He has a very robust research agenda and is currently helping his department in a leadership transition. He truly embodies the faculty commitment to research, teaching, and service that makes the Parker College so great. Congratulations, Mark.
Greetings, greetings, good evening. My name is Chris Ford, and I'm a member of the Parker College Young Alumni Board. I am proud to present the 2022 Outstanding Corporate Partner Award to the Parker Company. Parker College corporate partners invest in the college by giving their time, talent, and financial resources, hiring our recent grads, recruiting our students as employees, mentoring students in the classroom, and providing resources through financial support are just a few examples of how Parker's, a few examples of the ways our corporate partners support the college. The Outstanding Corporate Partner Award recognizes organizations that have demonstrated extraordinary commitment in the success of our college students, faculty, and programs. When considering the candidates of the inaugural Outstanding Corporate Partner Award, the winner was obvious. We are all familiar with the $5 million gift that was given by Greg Parker and the Parker Foundation and the Parker Company. This was the largest donation in the Georgia Southern history. But that is only a small part of how Parker's gives back to the college. Parker's hires our graduates. The president of the Parker Support Division and the CFO of Parker Companies, Brent Privet, is here with us tonight, and he's a Parker grad. Where's Brent at? All right. Greg Parker visits the campus regularly and speaks to our classes. Every year, our Parker Scholars, a group of the college's best and finest, actually go and visit the Parker companies and learns personally from the Parker leadership team. Parker's actually attends our Eagle Expo and our Professional Development Day every year and actually recruits our students. But this is just a few examples of how Parker's makes a personal commitment to invest in our university. And as we talk about on the personal level, I have benefited from Parker Company's generosity. So imagine this, as an undergrad in Georgia Southern, right after my 21st birthday, the Parker's Company actually took a chance on a marketing cohort out of the Parker College and gave us the opportunity to present our research, a study on teen buying behavior in convenience stores. As a part of this, we were actually able to present our research in Las Vegas at the National Association of Convenience Stores. Now, I did tell y'all I just turned 21, right? So when I tell you that Parker's made that opportunity worthwhile for me and my cohort, the best 21st birthday present you could ever receive. Amazing. But you know what? As I look back at it, that's just another example of how Greg Parker, founder and CEO of Parker Companies, and the Parker Company itself, makes the point of being intentional about their passion and dedication to community service. It is undeniable. And for that reason, I am thankful personally for the contributions that the Parker Company has made to myself, former Georgia Southern students, alumni, recent Georgia Southern students. Just amazing. Before we hear directly from Greg Parker himself, please watch this video showcasing Parker's engagement with the college.
I started my company January 1st, 1976. Graduated when I was 21, opened my first store. I certainly wouldn't have guessed that we would be able to have accomplished what we've been able to do in the company that I established. And as time has progressed and we've become more successful, we knew that we had a responsibility to give back to the communities where we were doing business. So the Georgia Southern footprint and the Parker footprint were pretty much one and the same. So I thought, what is the best place to be investing? And it was with Georgia Southern University.
I was really excited to see that the Parker Companies and Greg Parker are the recipients of our first Corporate Partner Award. I don't know of a better selection that we could have made, and certainly we are excited to offer them this award, excited to offer Greg this award, just as we're excited and proud to have the Parker name attached to our college.
Well, there were a few things that I saw in the Georgia Southern University and what the opportunities would be to marry with Parker's. And my brother went to Georgia Southern University, and I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that work with us went to Georgia Southern University.
Well, I started at Georgia Southern in 2003. I grew up in Statesboro. Georgia Southern was just a huge part of my life growing up. It was kind of the economic engine in town, and it was an obvious decision to go there.
And then I met Dean Amoson, and I knew that his goal was to try to make this a world-class business school. And when I heard that, I thought, I really need to be a part of this. Well, I think the biggest surprise is how much fun it is to work with the Parker Scholars and the students at Georgia Southern University. See how talented they are and that they're blank slates, and that through what we can do for them, experientially and through education, through co-ops and different things, to try to create opportunities for these students, not only for getting out, but for the communities that we live in too.
Being a student of economic development, I understand, and Greg understands, that the most important thing we can have in our community is good quality workforce. And the best investment anybody can make is in our educational facilities to produce that workforce. And there's no better place for our community to invest than in Georgia Southern University.
Well, I think the impact for the community is robust. And we are the second center of gravity in our state. We're the place where economic opportunity needs to be occurring. You know, Atlanta sort of sucks up all this talent in that area, but we need down in this part of the state, we need to be able to create opportunity through manpower and talented young people coming into our area so that we can help grow the businesses and increase the economic wherewithal of the communities where we do business. You know, for me, education is the tide that floats all ships. And for us to be able to give to the students, to be able to give to the university, to create more talented people, to hopefully keep them in the coastal empire, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
One of the things I really appreciate about our connection to Parker's and about Greg's involvement in the college is the time that he and his leadership team spend with our Parker Business Scholars. They spend a day at the Parker offices, meeting with all of his leadership team, talking with them about the various different facets of their business and of business in general. I've been to a couple of those visits. The students ask really good questions. The scholars represent the alumni in the college very, very well. But they also learn an awful lot from Greg and his team, and Greg and his team invest a tremendous amount of time and effort in that day and in that experience, and I really appreciate that. Just as I appreciate the times that they travel either to our campus here in Statesboro or in Savannah and speak to our students in Professional Development Day or in other classes.
Well, my favorite thing is to be able to interact with the scholars. And as you know, Megan was working with our HR department. The first graduate who's valedictorian at Parker College of Business is actually working with us now.
I think that the Parker Scholars Program is one of the most diligent programs I ever got to be a part of. Scholarships are great. They're wonderful. They're the reason why I got to go to college. But a lot of them are endowed for freshmen. And I remember sitting with the dean, looking at him thinking, junior year, what are you going to give me in 1 year left? And he gave me more than I could have imagined. And I think that's really big for Parker's because we're the 13 individuals that I sat around a table with were the most competitive in our college. And so it's not just a benefit for the students, it's a benefit for the companies that choose to become involved.
But the ability to be able to work with these students and to be able to listen to them and learn from them is great. Because I think we have a responsibility to mentor and also have the ability to be mentored by the students and to learn from them as well. You know, these students really are the future leaders of the coastal empire. And for me personally, it's a great opportunity to be married with it. And I would tell other entrepreneurs that you should do the same thing. Get involved with the university. Think about how you can give back. And when you give back, guess what? Great rewards come back to you.
I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Greg personally. Greg, for your passion, for your investment in the college, for your energy, for your friendship and support, for your unrelenting quest to be the best, and how you have pressed that quest on me and on this college. As iron sharpens iron, you're pushing us to get better, and I appreciate that very much, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't feel a sense of gratitude to you personally and to the Parker companies for the gift and for the energy and enthusiasm and drive that you are instilling in our faculty and staff and students.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a true blue welcome to our 2022 Outstanding Corporate Partner to the stage, founder and CEO, Greg Parker.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. I love seeing that. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you to the Parker College of Business for honoring Parkers. And before I go too far, I want to introduce our team. Brian, can you stand up? Georgia Southern grad, president. John Rudolph, you're back there. John, stand up. Head of development, who is helping us to do all the things we're going to do. Olivia Parker, you're over there too, right? So I can't see. Megan, you're back there. Stand up, Megan, who is the first valedictorian of the Parker College of Business. And Allison, stand up. Allison Hirsch, who's been working with me for 14 years, who does so much. Thank you so much. Bennett, my son, who doesn't work for me, but he's my son. Stand up, Bennett. But anyway, I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you so much. I mean, this is really an honor. Alan, thank you so much. And I've got to tell you, the things that I was saying in there are true. We do have a responsibility to those people who have the ability to give back. And I want to encourage every person in this room. And I know by showing up here, you're showing your dedication to try to do something for Georgia Southern. And what this university has done for the Coastal Empire is truly remarkable. And while I'm talking about that, I want to say, Alan Amison, I wouldn't have done it without you. So I'm so proud of you. The Dean of the Parker College of Business, thank you. And Kyle Marrero, Kyle, I can't see, over here, I want to thank you for your dedication, your passion, and what you're doing to make this university what it is. Because Georgia Southern has incredible numbers. And I know enrollment is up during a time with the pandemic. And I think there are very few colleges that can say that, but what y'all are doing for the university and for this community where we live is truly exceptional. It's remarkable. And, you know, we talk about, I'm on the board of CETA with David Pattison. There's probably some other CETA board members. David's a has-been, though. He was chairman. But anyway, what we try to do with the Savannah Economic Development Authority is to bring businesses that are going to have higher paying jobs to our community. And CETA and Georgia Southern and Savannah Technical College and all these other things are doing things to help create this symbiotic relationship where we're trying to help people become better educated that can help the Coastal Empire and then be a conduit of talent to the Coastal Empire. So thank you, Georgia Southern. I'm so honored, I'm humbled to receive this wonderful award, and thank all of you for showing up and being a part of it. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. As Clay said, welcome to the write-off, right? I'm Callie Kramer, a member of the Parker College Young Alumni Board and newly appointed co-chair of the Greater Augusta Eagle Alumni Network. So if I have anybody from Augusta, please see me tonight. I'm proud to present the 2022 Distinguished Service Award to Tommy Jones, who is also a resident of Augusta. The highest award conferred at the Parker College, the Distinguished Service Award, honors alumni who exemplify the aspirations, accomplishments, and reach of the college. Honorees have provided outstanding support of the college throughout their lifetime, hold a position of distinction in business, government, or academia, have demonstrated outstanding success in his or her field, and are a recognized civic leader in their community. There is no one who exemplifies the accomplishments of the Parker College more than Tommy Jones. Tommy Jones rose from humble beginnings in Louisville, Georgia, to become one of the top accountants in the state. Tommy graduated from the Parker College with an accounting degree in 1973. In college, Tommy married his wife, Vicki, and had to work to support the two of them while working on his degree. Tommy spent mornings working as a Coke delivery driver, then would head to class, often without being able to change out of his uniform. After graduation, Tommy joined one of the Big 5 accounting firms, Big 4 when I was out there, before eventually returning home to start a firm with several partners, including his brother, Walter. Today, Tommy is one of the most respected accountants in the state. Tommy is active with the Georgia Society of CPAs and frequently speaks at seminars on topics such as boring stuff for most, but estate and income tax planning and valuation of closely held businesses, a specialty that Tommy is one of the state's foremost experts in. Even with all of Tommy's professional responsibilities, he always makes time to give back to Georgia Southern. Tommy has been a member of the Parker College Dean's Advisory Board for many years, a member of the School Accountancy Advisory Board, and a former trustee of the Georgia Southern Foundation Board. Tommy is a financial supporter of the college, as we all are here tonight. The conference room at the Parker College building is named for Tommy and Vicki. But Tommy doesn't just support the college financially. Tommy and Vicki have hosted alumni events in Augusta to engage graduates and grow the Georgia Southern brand. Tommy shares his knowledge with the next generation of accountants by coming to campus to teach business valuation to Parker College accountant students. As an Augusta resident and also a certified public accountant, I know that Tommy has an outstanding reputation of business and character. Before we ask Tommy to the stage, please watch this video showing Tommy's Parker College story.
I've just always felt a calling to give back to Georgia Southern. And one thing my father always told me is that, son, get your college education and keep going with it, and learn and learn and learn. And that's what I've tried to do. I just fell in love with Georgia Southern, back then, and that was where I wanted to go. And, went to Georgia Southern, majored in accounting, graduated in 1973. Statesboro and Georgia Southern has always been very, very good to me. Very encouraging. That's the main thing. Yeah, a lot of my success, basically all of my success, I attribute to Georgia Southern.
Parker College of Business has many very successful alums, but I can't think of anybody that gives more back to the college than Tommy Jones. Tommy, of course, provides financial support, but he's on the Dean's Advisory Council. He's always willing to come to classes, enjoys meeting with students. I can't think of a better role model for our students than somebody like Tommy.
Tommy and I grew up together here in Louisville. We went to the same school. Louisville's a small town. Tommy was a couple of grades ahead of me, but I really got to know Tommy when we played on the football team together. He played halfback, and I was on the line, so I got to block for him. So I hope he still appreciates that. Several years later, we decided to get together, and he asked me to join him in the firm, and I did. That's how we got together, and we worked together for quite a few years. It's been great having him on the board, having his input, his expertise, and that's contributed to the success of Queensboro.
We depend on Tommy to ask the right questions, the pertinent questions, and to get to the meat of the problem pretty quickly. And he does a great job with that.
I'm always proud when a Georgia Southern alumnus or alumna achieves tremendous success and is known for personal integrity as well. In this case, Tommy has the knowledge, he has the character, and he brings that both to his professional and personal life.
I was raised in Louisville, the same very small town where Tommy and his wife Vicki grew up. Tommy is so ethical that Tommy doesn't even know it. It's like he's got a weather vane that points in that direction. And if he's not sure, he's not afraid to ask, which is also a phenomenal trait. You can't acquire humility. You couldn't have chosen better than Tommy Jones. And I have to say that Tommy Jones is a lot of who he is because of Vicki Jones.
Vicki and I are high school sweethearts and continued to date freshman year at Georgia Southern, and sophomore year we got married.
We really had a sweet relationship because we were very dependent on each other, during our college years.
And she's always been at my side, encouraged me, helped me. I couldn't have done anything I've accomplished in the last 50 years, without her being there
We did go home every summer of college, and Tommy worked on the farm. So you come home very dirty. We would have to hose Tommy off in the backyard. So he knows how to get into the dirt. It's really hard to believe that Tommy and I have been married for as long as we have been, for 50 years. But we've had a fabulous go.
We've had many happy returns.
As he said, it's just been many happy returns.
Sort of a funny story. We were at I've been on the Dean's Advisory Council, on Dean's Advisory Board for many years, probably 25 years, and it goes back probably at least 20 years ago when Carl Gooding was the Dean of the College of Business, and we had to stand up and introduce ourselves, and I told her I was, and CPA firm, so forth, and I said, I guess my claim to fame is that my daughter was the homecoming queen of Georgia Southern, and Carl Gooding says, well, what does that make you, the king?
So yeah, those are, we've spent a lot of family time with Georgia Southern that have made some really sweet memories. So why not, keep investing in that which invested in us?
At some point in the future, I would like to slow down. I'd love to get me an electric car and come to Statesboro and teach accounting class.
When can you start?
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 2022 Distinguished Service Award winner, Tommy Jones.
I'll hold this for you while you speak.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I didn't know I was going to have to speak after Greg Parker and Lieutenant General Les Smith. The general was the third in command of the United States Army before he retired, so, and a Georgia Southern graduate and an accounting major. So, it's a high honor and distinct privilege to accept this award from the Parker College of Business at Georgia Southern University. I am truly humbled and thrilled. Georgia Southern has done vastly more for me than I can ever give back. So how do you receive such an award, such as this? Well, it's not that I was trying to win anything. It's just I did what I love in promoting, supporting, giving back to Georgia Southern for the last 35 years. Actually, I've been on the Dean's Advisory Council for the last 32 years. I think I started in 1990 under Carl Gooding. I promote Georgia Southern by recommending Georgia Southern professors like Dr. Lowell Mooney and his wife Paula Mooney to be speakers at the Georgia Society of CPAs in Atlanta. I was chairman of the tax forum and got Paula to talk on an audit session, back, several years ago. Dr. Lowell Mooney and Paula are both past presidents of the Georgia Society of CPAs in Atlanta. So, that's just the type of quality, that we have on the College of Business faculty. I always have Georgia Southern in the forefront of my credentials when I did speak at the Tax Forum and Estate Planning Institute. I also want to thank the crew at Georgia Southern that put all of this together. Just a few of the names: Danielle Smith, who was recognized earlier, Robert Grant, Chris Osborne, Melanie Rivera, Mark Donato, Debbie Hilton, and the Young Alumni Board of the Parker College of Business. Robert, Chris, Melanie, and Mark came to our home in Augusta and interviewed Vicki and myself, and they did a superb job in this video. And definitely I want to thank the Dean of the Parker College of Business, Dean Alan Amison. Alan was the mastermind of all of this. I mean, we've been talking about this for probably 3 years. And the first I heard about it, and I said, wow, that's going to be a big event. But it was a little scary back in that time, you know, like we'd never done this before. But several years ago, when Alan first came in as the dean of the Parker College of Business, back in those days it was just the College of Business, we had our first Dean's Advisory Council meeting, and you know, Alan, led the meeting, and I was on the foundation board, trustees back then, and I reported back to the foundation board that the College of Business is in good hands, you know, with Alan Amison, because he's one of us. He graduated from Georgia Southern. He went on to get his PhD. He was a distinguished professor at the University of Georgia, and has just done a wonderful job. At Georgia Southern, I call it the 27,000 Club. You know, the Braves have the 715 Club, but we have what I'm calling the 27,000 Club. There are 27,000 students currently at Georgia Southern University, and we have the Parker College of Business has 27,000 alumni. What we've got to be sure we do is get more of those 27,000 giving back through their time and their talents. The Parker College of Business has dual accreditation by the AACSB, which is the accreditation committee for colleges of business. So what does that mean? That means that the College of Business has its own accreditation by the AACSB, and also the School of Accountancy under the direction of Dr. Charles Harder. The School of Accountancy has its own accreditation. I read the other day that dual accreditation is only held by the top 1% of colleges of business worldwide. So we're in that kind of the top 1%. I'd called Dr. Amison, Alan, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 weeks ago, and he didn't pick up, and I said, well, he's making a presentation somewhere. And so the next day he called me back, and he says, well, I'm sorry I didn't pick up, but I had my phone turned off because of this time difference. I'm in Abu Dhabi with the AACSB. He's a board member of this accreditation, and they were accrediting a College of Business in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. Also, I want to thank again my beautiful wife, Vicki, who is also a Georgia Southern graduate. I might say a magna cum laude graduate. If you've ever, I've written someone a letter, and it's this beautiful, you know, just totally beautiful letter that almost makes you cry to read it. I didn't write it, Vicki did. So I wouldn't let her write this speech. I did this myself because I didn't want to end up crying up here. I could not have accomplished any of this success without Vicki's full support and approval. I also wanted to thank my family, my daughter Calissa, the homecoming queen, and Watson, our son, who are both here tonight, my brothers AP and Walter, who are both here with their wives, and my sister Jennifer from Atlanta, who's also a Georgia Southern College of Business graduate. Also, I wanted to tell you about one of the best hires I've ever made, and that was hiring my brother Walter, who is a CPA and Parker College of Business. Another best hire I ever made was Phil Paulhill, CPA, who just spoke on the video. Phil has always been a close friend and was a partner with our CPA firm for 15 years and is now Chief Financial Officer of the Queensboro National Bank. The firm's next best hire was Mark Davis, CPA, who is also a Georgia Southern graduate in accounting. So all 4 of our original partners of Jones, Jones, and Davis were all Georgia Southern graduates. We have 19 employees. I'm in Augusta, Walter's in Louisville. 11 of those are CPAs. You know, all of our partners are Georgia Southern graduates. Giving a speech like this in front of 300 people or so in March reminds me of one of the first speeches I gave at the University of Georgia Estate Planning Institute a few years ago. And giving a speech during tax season is always a challenge. I mean, I was supposed to be working on my speech on Thursday, and I ended up going to try to pick up a big new estate I'm working on in the other side of Charlotte. So I spent driving, 8 hours to and from there on Thursday. And lastly, I wanted to tell you about this experience with the Georgia Southern's first national championship in football back in 1985. They, of course, were playing Furman. And Vicki and I had recently moved from Savannah back to Louisville. And we were at a party watching the game in Louisville, and most of the crowd was pulling for Furman. I said, and I got Walter over to the side, and I said, I'm pretty upset. Why are all these drunks pulling for Furman? Well, Walter says, Bobby Lamb, the Furman quarterback's family is originally from Louisville, and I said, what does that matter? I said, Tracy Ham, our quarterback, is going to start throwing the ball. And we're behind 35-14. We're down 3 touchdowns at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And Tracy started throwing the ball. And Georgia Southern came back and won its first national championship, 44-42. That was one of the most exciting games I've ever watched. In fact, we didn't have any money. The football team didn't have any money, so we had to fly back from Tacoma, Washington that night because we couldn't afford to let everybody spend the night out there. So we met the football team at the Hanner Field House at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, Walter and myself and Calissa. So that was some night. A really exciting time. I have to say I've always been very fond of getting involved at Georgia Southern, an exciting part of this great university, and to usually be the first to hear about her accomplishments just makes it very easy to give what I can continue to the great traditions of a school that believed in me and to this day still encourages me to give more of my time and talents and to make the Parker College of Business even more successful. Thank you again for this tremendous honor. I will cherish it always. And go Eagles.
Wow. Pretty good night, eh? So I came back to Georgia Southern. As Tommy said, I'm an alumni, 1984. My wife and I both graduated in 84, and we went a lot of places. We came back in 2013, August. Almost 9 years. And for almost all of those 9 years, I have dreamt about this night. Because I know how important it is that our alumni network, all 27,000 of them, connect with one another, believe in one another, support one another. And so I'm feeling a sense of gratitude that is hard to explain. And so I won't try. I'll just say thank you for being here. Thank you for your support of the Parker College. Thank you for your support of our faculty, our programs, our students. Thank you for hiring one another, for investing in one another, for mentoring one another. In so doing, you make the place better. And that is our goal, to be amongst the best anywhere in the world. And we don't shrink from that. We know we have disadvantages. But what we can point to is our alumni and their success and their willingness to invest in the next generation. You know, I don't know how many of you get our newsletter. I hope you all do. If you get it, I hope you read it. But in my little commentary, I believe it was last month, I wrote that our aspiration is to have an alumni with tens of thousands of success stories. Well, you are, and I mean this, I want you to hear this, you are the personification of that aspiration. You are living and breathing the goal we hope to have on every one of our students. And your very presence for them creates a reality that they can see, that they can shoot for. You are exemplars that they can touch and understand, and they can say, I can be just like them. And so your very presence here tonight and your very participation in the Parker College and its programs is part of a legacy that you're leaving. You know, I think a lot about legacies. Can't go into all the reasons why without being emotional, but those of you who know me know that it's been a hard few years. It's no exaggeration to say the hardest in my life. And it's given me reason to think about what I do and why I do it. Why? In a world where we control so very little of the things that influence us, in a world where so many things can affect us negatively despite our best efforts to the contrary. Why? Well, for me, as I've pondered this question, what I've come to is this. I may not be able to cure cancer. I may not be able to make the world a better place. What I can do is do tomorrow exceptionally well the thing I'm given to do. And for today and tomorrow and the day after it, and for as many tomorrows as I can see right now, what I'm given to do is to make this college the best it can possibly be, to move this college forward one day at a time, to make every single decision based solely on the principle of improving the value of the Parker College degree, which many of you hold, and so raising the value of the stock that you have in this college. And if I can do that, well, then you can do that. And if you can do that, then so can 27,000 alumni. And if 27,000 of us do that one day at a time, every day, just a little better, we do it just a little harder, with a little more consistency, a little more effort, one day at a time, I believe we can change the world. And so I think a lot about legacies. When I do, I think about one of our young alumni board members. You all have seen a lot of them tonight, and I'm very grateful and appreciative of them. But when I'm in here, and the reason she's not here is because she recently gave birth. And she and her husband are both Parker College alums, and they wanted to be here, and she's part of the Young Alumni Board and was part of the planning of this, but she couldn't come because she recently gave birth to a little girl. The little girl is named Parker. Parker has no idea what we're doing here tonight, nor does she care. But here's what I can promise you. One day she will know what we are doing. One day she'll know that her mom and dad came to Georgia Southern and got their degree at Parker College, that their success was a reflection on the time they spent here and the education that they received. One day, little Parker will know the legacy that her parents left her. That legacy is what changes the world. And so, as we wrap this up, I want you as alumni, as partners, as investors, as members of our community, to feel confident in what we're doing. To look at the examples we have. Greg, thank you. My goodness. As I said in the video, like iron sharpens iron. My goodness, just you make us better every day. Merely because of your energy, your presence, your relentlessness. We're going to keep doing what we do. And my promise to you is as valid today as it was the day I made it the first time. I will not spend a waking hour of any day not thinking about how we can make it better and make good on the investment you've made. Tommy, my heavens to Betsy. You personify everything we want for our students, our graduates, our alumni. When we tell people, here's what is possible, and here's how to do it, we're going to point at you. You make us better by your investment of time and treasure, yes, but your example is what really provides the value to our students. President Marrero and Vice President and Provost Reiber, my goodness gracious, I know I'm a pain. I know, all the time. Why won't the guy just do what he's supposed to do? Because I'm working for what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow, not today, okay? And I know I seem out of step sometimes, but you put up with me. And you have invested in us, and my promise to you all is the same. We will give you a positive return on your investment every single dollar you give us. And I promise that today, as I've always promised. To our Young Alumni Board and Advisory Boards, look at this. Look at this room. Look at this event. My heavens. Yeah, it took 9 years to pull it off. But here's the thing. It'll only take 1 year to pull off the second one. To our sponsors, Synovus. By the way, I bank with Synovus. I promised Darren I would say that, but I don't have to make good on a promise in this case. Since I moved to Georgia in 1996, moved back because this is my home, I've been banking with Synovus. Love those guys. Okay? I don't know how to say fancy things about your bank, but here's what I can tell you. I do a lot of banking business, and they've never failed to take good care of me in 30 countries around the world. Through international adoptions, through starting businesses. Absolutely, yeah. I'll spend much of the next year giving back to you and our other sponsors as well. Our table sponsors, all of you. My gosh, the gratitude I feel and the appreciation for our sponsors and for all of those who are here. I think a lot about legacies. Your being here tonight is investing in a legacy. Because, see, here's the thing, and I'll stop with this. Here's the thing. There'll come a day when I'm gone. Sooner rather than later, I suspect. And there'll come a day when only you are gone. But even when that day comes, the Parker College will still be here. Parker College will be here, and this event, I hope, will be going on every single year. But as many years as it goes on, there will only be one inaugural. And you were here for the inaugural. And that in and of itself is a legacy. That in and of itself is an investment you've made in little Parker and in the next generation. That in and of itself is enough for you to feel confident as you walk out of here that the Parker College and the degree that you hold will one day reach national prominence, and you, as our alumni, will one day change the world. Hail Southern, and no place else.
Hush now, child, and don't cry.
Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to make announcements. I'm sorry. Real quick, you see this? You see this? Okay, bottle of wine. It is a magnificent Cabernet from the Central California coast. What you don't know is that on the front it says Inaugural Parker College Gala with a date. As you walk out of here, our Parker Scholars will give you one of these. It's a collector's item. I will have one in my office. Also, the bar's open till 10.